You hate the KVJ show.
Kevin has to be the creepiest looking and most untalented man in radio. From dumb, phony laughs to boring stories about nothing, he's the worst. That's why I listen to satellite radio.
You hate us, you hate us, you hate us. You hate the KVJ show.
Am I the only one that thinks Virginia sucks? She never pays off her punishments, and Dirt of the Day is garbage. Go away, you pink-eyed liar. Nobody wants you here.
Oh. Wow.
You hate us, you hate the KVJ show.
I had the best dream where J-Bird ended up dying. Unfortunately, it was just a dream because I still hear his terrible fat voice on the radio. Here's to hoping J-Church chokes on a slice of pizza.
You hate us, you hate us, you hate the KVJ show.
I met Denny's at BurgerFi, and wow, he's even more boring in person than he is on the radio. He also dresses like a homeless guy. It's called a bath and a bar of soap, Denny's. Look into it.
You hate us, you hate us, you hate the KVJ show.
That sucks.
Dunkin' is the official coffee of the KVJ Show. America runs on Dunkin'. The KVJ Show is now live on 97.9 WRMF.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. Jason talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome back after a big old 4-day weekend. Yeah, baby.
But Mondays, though. Mondays are what it's all about, baby.
I hear you, man. I love Mondays. New promise, new start to exciting new week. Absolutely. New beginnings, baby.
You're right. You can start the whole thing over again. If last week was awful, this week's going to be the best week ever.
I like positivity. Come on. We're going to have a good week, man. It's going to be some good stuff.
It's a good week. Or did I tempt the universe to really give me the worst week ever?
Probably did.
Now you're just asking for it.
Yeah. You've already taunted it like 3 times. Yeah, we do have a big week. We're going to be doing a live show on Friday. So that's going to be something that's going to be fun. Going to be back at Das Craft Beer and Pizza.
The reason why I'm honestly excited about this is, I mean, the podcast is great to do a live show and all that, but I want to eat their pizza. Oh, my God.
Good.
I love it.
They do a good job.
Yeah. So plan on doing that with us coming up on Friday. So already looking forward to the good things going to be coming up. Did you guys have a good 4-day weekend?
Yeah, I did.
Fireworks and fun and good old US of A and all that kind of good stuff?
I'll tell you what, at my new place where I'm at right now, on my little balcony, I could see so many fireworks.
Yeah.
We had a big old barbecue at Denny's place, and I ate so much, I threw up, and I got so sick, and I was all kind of just like, I don't know, just hanging down by the ground, and I accidentally watched this beautiful fireworks show. How quickly the universe changes.
That's amazing.
Blowing up to beautiful fireworks.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, I don't even like fireworks.
How American that truly is. Yeah, it was fun. Went and checked out the fireworks downtown that went on, West Palm Beach. But yeah, you can see pretty much everywhere there are fireworks going to be going off.
Man, people who live in a home now have some of the best fireworks out there. So many people were doing illegal displays by where I was at, and they nailed it.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a lot. I couldn't even believe it. Like, I was driving home, and there was about 10 cars pulled over on just a regular road, and they were just letting them off right on the sidewalk. There was a large gathering of people. I'm just like, that's very odd this hasn't been shut down, because it didn't seem like it had just sprung up.
I like the 4th of July people doing it late at night. I don't like the 5th of July people who are doing it at midnight.
No,
kind of annoying.
And the 6th of July people, and the 7th of July people. Come on, man.
Well, fireworks go on sale on the 5th of July. So, I mean, you got to scoop them up when they're on sale.
Yeah, but there's got to be laws. There's got to be limits. That's the
thing. There
thing.
are laws. You're not supposed to set them off on the 4th either.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's got to be a way to police it. I don't even think there's really a way to police it, because it was 4th of July, and I am in bed, and I hear, boom, like that. I mean, it sounded like a bomb went off right by my head. I'm like, what? Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, Oh my gosh, my heart's racing. I didn't know.
They're coming.
It's
I didn't
going
know
down.
what was going on. I'm like, oh, what time is it? I look at my clock, and it's 2:41 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
And this guy was letting off. It had to be dynamite. It didn't even sound like regular fire. And I'm like going, all right. At this
That's so
point,
uncool.
It's not cool because then I was so shook. I didn't go to bed till about 4:40. Like I was up 2 hours in the middle of the night. And the next day, my mother-in-law was talking to her neighbor, and he had actually called the cops on the guy. And the cops were like, unless we get a lot more complaints, we really can't do anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah, and this guy, just rogue dude, just kind of kept doing these fireworks. Like, it's like, come on, man.
Across the little way there's a bunch of college kids. I swear there's like 9 people that are living in this house. And 4th of July, 5th of July, 6th of July, boom, 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 boom. At midnight, they're laughing. They're having such a great time. There's such youth involved.
I know.
And you're so old and angry.
So old and angry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sleep.
And we're getting the call-em outs done early here. We're going to get to some more of those. If you got to call out people, we're letting off the illegal fireworks way too late. You can put them on blast coming up here about 7:50 this morning.
Oh, I got someone I want to call out, and
Yeah.
it is gross, and I'm not real happy about it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
More gross than you laying on your side and barfing up your...
And funny enough, it has to do with barf.
Okay. All right. Figured.
More barf?
It's a very barfy
Outs-Jbird's
Monday.
very pukey weekend. So there you go. We'll bring it all in, talk about all the good stuff that went down over the last 4 or 5 days. Coming up this morning.
KVJ not only does a radio show, but also does an after-the-show podcast. Watch or listen on kvjshow.com.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you got in your mind today, J-Bird?
There's an epidemic going on out there in the food world, and it's actually a very serious thing. I'm starting to see copycats do it, and the law has to really come down with just a fist of fury when it comes to people who are tampering with food, that are going into grocery stores, licking things, and then
There's
putting them.
so many copycats that
Yeah.
are doing that ice cream thing.
There's other people that are going on social media and they are encouraging people to lick stuff and put it back and not tell anybody about that. And my whole thing is this, because you had that whole Bluebell situation where the girl licked the Bluebell ice cream. She put it back. The person filming her was encouraging the whole thing, and they finally identified her. She was underage, and I don't know if she's going to get prosecuted now because she's underage. She's 17 years of age. If you were the judge, if you had a chance to give this 17-year-old a sentence, what would you give her?
I wouldn't give her a hard time.
I'm giving her at least 10 years in prison. No,
Because she's 17. You're dumb. You're young. Now, she does deserve to get some kind of juvie stuff, community service.
Judge Ralston, what do you give her?
I give her a $1,000 fine and a probationary period that starts for 6 months the day when she pays off the $1,000.
Damn, y'all are soft. They're encouraging copycats. This is a problem. You mean to tell me if you got some Tequesta ice cream and somebody from the other side of the tracks,
Tequesta ice cream is creamier.
you got one of me, a Lake Park guy going there, licking it, putting it back in there. I mean, you should pay for that. That should not be a little fine. We have to really make an example out of these people.
Yeah. Well, I get what you're saying. One, the point of my decision is, one, she's a juvenile.
Right.
And two, it's not like she put I mean, it's gross to lick it, but it's not like she put something that could really harm somebody, an acid or something like that, if somebody ate it. If that's the case, then yeah, you're talking about a completely different issue.
How do we know she doesn't have, I don't know, some kind of flu or
Communicable disease.
Hep A? That's been a
Yeah.
big buzz.
Or some kind of tongue blister.
Just something.
Yeah.
And I also think the person encouraging it, they should get in trouble too. I'm
An
sorry.
accessory
Absolutely.
to her crime.
Yeah, was the person filming it also a minor? I am curious.
Okay, well, let's change it. Let's say the person's 30 years of age. It's a guy, 30 years. He does the same little prank, licking all the ice cream, putting it back. What's your sentence now? Does it change?
Lock him up.
Lock him
Yeah,
up.
if they're an adult, then it definitely changes. Like, I would encourage some kind of serious fine. Like, I would probably step it up to a good, like, 10 grand and probably 10 days in jail.
That's
that kind of
it?
thing.
10 days. I'm sorry. You're doing hard time.
It's gross again, but you're not putting something in there that is.
All right. If you guys want to live in a licky world, let's lick it up.
Okay, lick it up.
We don't want to live in a licky world.
I do not. I'm sorry. I think this crime is terrible.
It is awful. I mean, it is really gnarly. I saw another video somebody was going through with mouthwash. They took the cap off and they swish it around and spit the mouthwash right back into the bottle.
10 years in prison. Sorry.
Yeah. So all I know is I've taken a week off from ice cream and mouthwash.
Judge Whopper over here, a little bit different. I'm hanging out some real stiff punishments. Does the judge even make the decision on that? The punishment?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
on
right.
that one, yeah.
I think they probably do. So, yeah. Virginia, what you got in your mind here today?
Well, we're going to have somebody new on the front lines fighting and watching the ice cream and watching the mouthwash. Over the weekend, Mags got a job.
Publix?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Mags went and she applied and she went and interviewed and she got hired and she has her orientation on Saturday.
Wow.
She goes to get her little outfit.
That's cool. Good for her.
She's entering the workforce.
Yeah.
We went and opened a banking account for her.
Oh, that's
She's gonna
awesome.
have direct deposit.
Yeah.
Mag's more of an adult than I am.
Mags is
Yeah.
going to have it together.
Oh, the accounting people here that work, they can't believe I don't have direct deposit. They think it's amazing.
Yeah. Good for her. That's great.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, that is cool. And that's a good job to have that age. I did that stuff
It
when
is.
I was her age.
She's coming in as a bagger.
Yeah, right.
Yep, she's very excited.
We prefer if you call us courtesy clerks, Virginia.
Oh, sorry.
Sounds a little bit more professional
You're
than
right.
bagger.
That's
She
very.
told me bagger.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to grill her about all Publix questions now. I want to know if she gets discounts on subs, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as she starts, I'm sure she'll get the full rundown. The whole orientation happens this Saturday. She's so excited.
Oh, that is cool.
It's a
Good
big
for her.
deal.
It's a
That is
big deal.
I got sucked into a pretty good show that I love these shows too that are just like one season, 8 or 9 episodes, and you get a full story. And I finally got to watch the assassination of Gianni Versace.
Yes.
And it was right before I came to Florida that the whole thing happened. So it was like around 97 where Gianni Versace was shot on the front steps of his mansion there, the Versace mansion on Miami Beach. And, you know, it's become several things since his death. But still, you know, people go by 20 plus years later and like, oh, well, that's where he was shot. And
Sure.
but the story about the guy who shot him, and you know, I had known that I thought he'd killed a person or two before, but just really kind of looking into who this person was, they really did a deeper dive on the psychology of Andrew Cunanan, the guy who shot him.
And it's fascinating, like how he was living in that houseboat and what he was doing and how he was able to evade. And it's just fascinating to get a peek into like his side of it.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, this guy was nuts.
Well, the psychology of it was very fascinating, and they went all the way back to how he was raised and the way his dad treated him and things like that. Kind of, you know, laid into it and set the groundwork. It's kind of like, you know, let you know as a parent that, yeah, the, you know, psychosis that your kids might have later is because of what you're doing today.
Oh, yeah, we're all messed up because of our parents.
Yeah. So, but it is fascinating. Obviously, a lot of, you know, South Florida landmarks that you're going to see on there from Miami. And I was watching at the end, and our buddy Rick Blackwell, who used to be at CBS 12, he's got a cameo spot in it. They cut to the news.
Really?
When, yeah, Andrew Cunanan's on the houseboat, and they going, today on the house. And I'm like, hey, it's Rick Blackwell.
That's awesome. Good
he's,
for
he's
Rick.
right in the middle of it. So, yeah, his daughter, you know, she's from here, and she's done some acting. She's out in L.A. now. So.
She hooked him up with a gig.
Yeah. So I think his daughter started it first, and he's doing a little acting now, too.
His wife is an agent,
Yeah,
and so she helps replace a lot of actors and actresses. And Rick is just solid. I mean, Rick should be doing more stuff where he plays
I
the
agree, yeah.
reporter. I just love him.
Yeah, it was really cool to see that. So, yeah, a nice little cameo from Rick in there, and really cool. So, if you want to jump onto Netflix and take a little bit of time, that story is really kind of fascinating. I think it wraps up in like 9 episodes. They're about an hour, you know, each. So, yeah, for a nice 4-day weekend, you can get it all done. They were saying that one thing that Netflix is going to be doing, there's a new report that says tobacco use is up on TV, and Netflix is a major offender. Uh-oh, Mad Men.
Mad Men, they have those fake cigarettes. They would have to have those fake cigarettes because they would all be dead. They just do
yeah.
nothing but chain smoke in that show.
Yeah. Netflix has promised to cut down and to include warnings of tobacco use in the ratings so people can make informed decisions about what they watch. But as I still go around in the world, I'm still stunned that people still smoke. I'm like, I was someplace the other day and people were, I'm like going, gosh, I can't even believe people are still smoking.
My favorite's the person that is smoking in the rain because they will fight through that ciggy. They'll light that thing in the rain. They'll get it lit somehow.
You will go into like awful situations just to try to get that ciggy in you, man. It's crazy stuff. So
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
guys, you were just talking about this, Jaybird, and now another story's popped up. Louisiana police say a 36-year-old man was inspired by the viral video challenge of the teenager licking a tub of Bluebell ice cream and putting it back on the shelf. Someone recorded him pulling a carton of Bluebell ice cream from a freezer, opening it, licking the frozen dessert, and poking it with his finger before putting it back on the shelf.
10 years in prison, my man.
Now, this is a guy that's 36. Here we go. We're starting to warm it up. And there is a good point, too, because Bluebell's not messing around. And they're probably like, well, first of all, why is it our ice cream brand that's being targeted?
We've been through enough.
Yes, exactly. But they did not mess around. They went and they wiped out all the Bluebell. They had to throw all that away. So that is product. And, you know, I had said for the minor $1,000 fine, then a probation of at least 6 months starts after you've paid off the last penny of the $1,000. So if it takes you a year, you got a longer probation. But yeah, you got to throw in the cost of the product. You got to pay for all that ice cream that had to get thrown away.
And the overtime employee that had to drive there and do it and then restock all the new Bluebell.
And there's a price tag for fear. You're creating fear amongst the people. You got to pay.
Mm-hmm. This guy who's now 36. Now we're talking about an adult. So it's different.
Judge Whopper, I'm telling you right now, Judge Whopper, I'm ruling 10 years in prison.
10 years, you say,
10
huh?
years.
10 years. You think about what you've done.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, this person, it'll be interesting to see because the charges are a little bit different with an adult. He is being charged with unlawful posting of criminal activity for notoriety and publicity. And I like that. People who are trying to get viral famous by doing something that's a crime and makes the rest of us in society victims, they should not be able to benefit from that.
That one girl that kept firing, she walked up to Walmart employees and acted like she was part of the corporation and started firing them. She got in a bunch of trouble. I think YouTube tried to shut her down, and they should.
They absolutely should. Stop giving these awful people a platform to make them famous. That's what they want.
They should be banned for life, and any channel they try to get on, even as whatever, that person realizes if we see them on your video, yours will be shut down for life as well.
Amen.
I mean, I know we do pranky videos too, but we try to do them to a point where after the fact people know it's going on, or it's set up in advance where if it's at someone's job and the manager sets up a prank, they know about it.
We've always had that, though. On this show, we've always said, look, there is a difference between menacing and mischievous. Mischievous hopefully is in good fun that people can be like, okay, that was funny, and, you know, ultimately it wasn't anything that was majorly bad. But yeah, menacing is where you're trying to make somebody a victim, and then...
Well, you're licking food. You're deliberately trying to ruin things.
Yeah. So, and we've learned lessons through the years as well.
Yes, we have.
But yeah, we try to always keep that line. Yeah, so criminal mischief for allegedly tampering with property. In this case, the ice cream is going to be part of it. He's in custody right now until a judge sets bond, and who knows exactly what is going to happen and how quickly this 36-year-old who licked the ice cream now is going to be sitting behind bars.
You get Judge Whopper in there.
Yes.
We heard you.
Well,
They got to lay it down.
Judge Whopper's angry.
I am angry, and change must be had.
Yeah, because, well, it's like, and this is clearly a copycat crime. He's doing it simply because, you know, it all began. And some people are thinking that we need to charge Ariana Grande because it all began with her and the donuts.
I mean,
So there you go.
it's your girl, Virginia.
I know, but she apologized.
Mm-hmm. There's something else that is going viral. Somebody took video and photos. They were in England, and they had put together what is the American food aisle. So I guess if you're a Yank and you're over there watching the Yankees and Red Sox series and you're looking for food in England, you can go and find it on the American food aisle. So these are foods that the British think Americans eat.
Okay.
Is what they have. There's basically, in this American food aisle, there's a ton of candy. Nerds, Reese's Pieces, Jelly Belly, Jelly Beans, Twinkies, Pepperidge Farm cookies.
Oh, yeah, the good stuff.
There's right now nothing of any kind of health value whatsoever.
Nutritional value, 0.
Pop-Tarts, Lucky Charms, even a generic version of Lucky Charms they call Marshmallow Mateys.
That's the good stuff. Extra sugar.
Pumpkin pie filling. That's what the Yanks eat a lot of. A1 steak sauce, Jim Beam bourbon, barbecue sauce, and liquid smoke. And then Jack Link's beef jerky. And then for some reason they got a jar of hot dogs floating in water.
Ugh.
Americans love hot dogs.
But not floating in water.
That's pretty gnarly.
That's real gross.
I used to always hate that my mom would make our hot dogs by boiling them in water. So disgusting.
Oh, at least you guys had that. My mom sometimes would put them in the microwave, then they'd split in
explode.
half, and we'd use the butt end of the bread.
Yeah, that was pretty annoying as well. Yeah, so that's what they think Americans eat. Now, Jaber was talking about, for him, if he had to put together the American food, might actually look a lot like this, but he said he ran into the perfect vending machine. Everything you could possibly want.
Yeah, so there's a piece of the station wagon that I have to get to get it running good, and this one place has it. So I went there to just talk to the guy, and in their little warehouse, they have the most fantastic vending machine I have ever seen, Virginia. We are talking Lay's potato chips with a different kind of flavors, not your typical. It had all of the kind of different flavors in there. It had stuff from Drake's in there.
Drake's?
Yeah, the snack place.
You're used to our vending machine, which is terrible.
Terrible.
So if you see any vending machine that even has like 5 good things in it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's the best.
But I guess I obviously asked the guy about it. It's kind of a custom-made vending machine because he has a couple buddies that bring in a bunch of different products. So you'll see maybe 2 different brands in that vending machine, which made it next level.
Okay.
It really was unbelievable.
So if you had to stock your own vending machine, what are the 5 best items that you put in there that every vending machine should have?
This vending machine had this, and
Yeah.
I'm putting it in mine. It had peanut butter Twix, which is such a rarity.
Wow.
Yes, see? Virginia's excited. Peanut.
Okay.
I would put that in there as my top.
Right.
Nutter butter cookies. Man, I love me a Nutter butter, and I think those
yeah, they are
are
good.
some of the best road trip snacks out there.
Okay.
I would do those voodoo chips you introduced me to.
Zaps.
Zaps are the best, man. They're the best chip out there, in my opinion.
They're
Okay.
crunchy. They're thick.
Okay.
I also got Snyder's honey mustard pretzels in there.
Those are good, yeah. I'll give you that.
And it's so tough to come up with that last one. I'm a big fan of the yodel. I love yodels. I love it's like
What's a yodel?
like the Swiss cake roll with the cream inside of it. It's got the kind of chocolate that it feels like there's a film on top of it, and you know it's chemical, but baby, the taste is so good you ain't even worried about that.
Really?
You know you're eating something that probably will kill you.
Oh, it's so bad for you, but it's just the taste.
Uh-huh.
And there's my top 5.
Your top 5.
Fat Kevin, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I loved chips. I loved Pringles when I was a kid. The only problem is I liked eating a lot of them, so I don't know. I really get angry at the small cans they have. I don't like those. So,
The small cans are getting smaller, too, by the way.
well, because we're starting to realize how many calories we should have. Yeah, I didn't like that. I used to house at least half a can, if not a full can, every time I sat down. So, yeah, that'd be kind of annoying to only get the small can of Pringles. Yeah, I liked Little Debbie snack cakes. I would definitely have those in there if you're talking about eating the fatty stuff that I loved.
Did you like those big old cheesecakes they have in there? That's the one thing we do have in our vending machine, but it's the bad flavor
Cheesecakes?
kind.
No, he means a cheese Danish.
The Danish.
Oh, okay.
But they look so gross.
Yeah.
Like all of the frosting is stuck to the cellophane, so you're like, ugh,
Oh.
where were these sitting?
We don't have the right flavor here, too.
No.
And we can also tell that it's kind of like it's like a low budget version of the honey bun almost is what we have.
Do you get to request things for the vending machine, or is this just
Our guy doesn't speak English.
okay?
And I do want to
Is
say
he Spanish?
Yes.
Okay, so he's got to order it in Spanish.
I've talked a lot of trash about the vending machine here at work. I will say he is the guy, and bless his heart.
He's nice.
He found my wallet when I lost it. I left it on top of the vending machine. I lost it for a week, and he had it, and he gave it to me. So I'm talking a bunch of crap, but he's a good dude.
He's a good person, but we can tell he cost cuts when it comes to purchasing the items. He doesn't have the best quality in that vending
Kind
machine.
of dials it in with the snacks. I mean, you can't have the same type of Dorito and then you hit the button and then Ruffles is behind the Dorito. That's just unacceptable in the vending machine world.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
poor form.
Yeah, 4 of those same Danishes and the whole
It's kind of
lot.
like the bait and switch.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of the same product in there. And then all of a sudden there's just cans of tuna in there.
Yeah, why are we putting tuna in there?
Oh,
Dude, that's gross.
We need to get those voodoo chips or maybe some Nutter Butters up in there.
Twizzlers would be great.
All right, you're losing me.
Well, the thing that I hate, being a guy who tries to eat healthy, is a lot of vending machines I don't ever look in because you're not finding the healthy stuff. Now, for me, if I were looking in a vending machine, the tuna, I'd be like, okay. If you started putting tuna in there and almonds in there,
I know you're the
I'd be
host
like-
of the show and you're in charge, but get out.
I'm starting to. If vending machines look like that, and I could go get a nice healthy snack
Oh, a
at
health
a
vending
decent price, I'd be like, yeah. I mean, why not? Why shouldn't it be that way?
You would like one thing he's got in there. So he's got, but they're low budge. He's got like a low budge nut assortment, but it's not salted.
Oh, it's way too salty for Kev. Can I please talk?
It's not salted.
Where's Fat Kevin at?
Huh?
Where's Fat Kevin at? I thought
He already gave you his list.
he left. He's gone.
Healthy Kev wants a vending machine, but nobody does healthy stuff.
Me and Virginia do not like healthy Kevin.
Not
Fat
enough.
Kevin's in the bathroom. It's his second time this morning.
Yeah.
He's probably eating
He's a
snacks.
big
He's probably
pooper.
hiding eating snacks because he was shamed as a kid. Poor little guy.
We got some birthdays to check out here today. We got having a birthday here on July 8th, 2019. Jaden Smith. Can you believe it? He's now 21 years old. How about that? Making it all on his own, too. No help from mom and dad.
You're right.
Yeah.
You are right.
Yes, doing great. Let me see. Other celebrities you got today. Beck, the alternative musical genius, is 49 years old today. He did Loser way back in the day, and if you listen to alternative music, he's still doing a lot of stuff in the music world. Toby Keith. That's right, big old country western star.
That's the guy my dad thought he was talking to on Twitter. I'm like, Dad.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought
I thought it was another guy.
No, it's Toby Keith.
It was,
Yeah,
okay.
TK.
TK, okay. He's 58. I'm sure he had I'm sure he had a lot of fireworks on the 4th of
Oh,
July.
he was tweeting to my dad about it.
That's sad when you have to explain to your parents that people on Twitter are liars.
Oh, my dad was so excited. He's like, I couldn't believe. I thought maybe he saw something I had tweeted out about music, and then he liked it. That's why he was reaching out to me. I'm like,
Aw.
oh, Dad, it don't work like that.
Two musicians.
Yeah.
Just swapping ideas.
Kevin Bacon is 61. Pretty good little anthology he's got. If you look at all the movies that he's been
Oh,
in,
he's a legend.
going all the way back. Yeah.
Wouldn't you call Bacon a legend?
Yeah, Bacon's been in the game forever.
Yeah, no doubt. And also want to say a happy birthday today. Got Sam having a birthday today, and kind of cut off a little bit, but you can see her in that frame, and there she is with her daughter.
Aww.
Got to
Adorable.
go to Universal to hang out.
Happy birthday.
Lots of fun. There you go. So hopefully you had a great birthday there. Got a birthday you want to send to the KVJ Show? You can let us know. Just send us an email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. What is the most boring tourist trap in the state of Florida? Maybe you got a chance to travel over the 4th of July weekend, or maybe just in another time in your adventures, you found something that was completely boring and just not even worth it. Like going, what are we doing here? It's crazy. It's terrible. It's awful. Well, there is a blog that has listed the most boring tourist attraction in each and every single state. And for Florida, they say the worst tourist attraction is the City of Live Mermaids
What?
in Weeki Wachee, Florida.
Don't they have like a whole thing where the mermaids are in like a pool and you can like watch them from like below?
I
Isn't
think
that a whole thing?
It might be. I mean, I know
That
there's
sounds
that.
kinda cool.
There's a
Sounds
bar in
real
Fort
cool.
Lauderdale. What is it? The Mermaid Bar, and they've got like a tank behind the bar, and they'll put a mermaid in there.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a mermaid lover. I love mermaids, so this has got me. This sounds amazing to me.
You're not buying this, huh?
No, I already don't like this blog. This blog's weak.
Yeah, half fish, half human performances in an underwater theater with all the mermaids wearing skimpy bathing suit tops. Its popularity peaked in the 1960s, so it's got that kind of feel and air like everything here was built in the 60s.
But it's nostalgic. That's cool.
I love it. 0 for 1 with this list.
0 for 1.
0 for 1.
Do you have one that's worse than the City of Live Mermaids that would take its place, if that's not the worst one?
I'm trying to think of like when you say attractions that are the worst. I mean, there was this one place I went to, and as a kid, my dad took us there, and it's supposed to have all of these sea creatures. I'm not even sure if it's still there. It had one little baby fish in there that looked sick. Everything was broke down. The snacks were expensive and gross.
Yeah.
I think it was like in the middle of the state.
They've got a few of those, yeah. Well, the one that I would say that you see when you talk about hype, and I don't know if they have as many billboards as they used to, but Yeehaw Junction.
Yeah.
They used to have gazillion. Do they still have all the Yeehaw Junction billboards up, or is that something they've taken down now?
I think they're still up there because they dubbed themselves the home of the pecan roll. And the pecan roll is actually very good there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never even seen that
Oh,
place.
they call it a pecan log, and it's so thick, and you can cut it.
It looks like a giant nutty poo.
No, it doesn't.
No, I don't like it.
It's so sugary.
Gross.
All they have there is what, a Stuckey's, and they've got the Desert Inn that's closed down, and then they got the guy that has his stand of boiled peanuts right there.
I can't tell you how many shirts I have bought at that Stuckey's. They sell shirts there.
They do.
So
Yes.
depressing.
Oh no, it's kind of like my thing.
So you're rating Yeehaw Junction above the Mermaid Tank and Weeki Wachi.
I think the mermaid tank sounds amazing to me. I'm not downing on that.
Okay.
Yeehaw Junction, not so much.
Yeah, Junction's pretty depressing. You're right. There's not much there.
Okay. Somebody said, yeah, my wife loves mermaids, so I took her to go see the mermaids there, and we only found manatees. Very disappointed.
Oh.
I don't know if that's a joke with the people that were there, or maybe they swapped out the mermaids for manatees now.
Was it a joke about the weight of the mermaids?
I don't know. That's what I'm
got a
trying to
lot of
figure out.
questions.
Is that a joke about the weight of the mermaids, or have they said because of our new hashtag #MeToo world that we're not going to be sexually objectifying mermaids in a tank now?
Let's sexually objectify the manatees instead.
Question: a place like a Cafe Risque, where you see signs. I mean, there are signs galore all through the middle state of Florida.
Yeah, it's true,
That,
yeah.
that is, in a sense, a place people talk about and go to.
I've heard a review. There were a couple of guys that stopped there on their way back from a Florida State game coming back to South Florida, and they went to Cafe Risque. And
you know what?
It was not a glowing review.
Cafe Risque, we bear all.
Yes,
bear
that's
all.
right. I think that is their...
So I've got reports from like the mid '90s. I'd like to see if they've gotten better or worse since then. Because back in the mid '90s, it's like or closer to 2000, not good reports from that place.
I don't think it's gotten better.
Has it gotten better or worse?
Places like that don't get better.
No. There's a few, and there's another one that's north central part of the state, too. There's a ton of billboards for some strip clubs. Because I think strip clubs, when you get into North Florida, are separated by about 300 miles. So it's a big deal when you come across one.
There's that other place they always show. It's the Christmas store. You can buy stuff there all year long, and they got a big old nice looking house where you can drive up there and buy
Yeah.
stuff. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I think there's one in South Florida.
There is.
I think they have one.
There's one in the Ocala area.
Okay.
I know they've got that town with all the former people who were in the carnival, sideshow acts.
That's right.
I've heard some stories about that place too.
Yeah, Sadness.
There's sadness.
It's called Sadness, Florida.
And I don't know if they want to do interviews, really.
Yeah.
We thought about going up there for the Weird Whatever podcast. It wasn't really taken with a...
But then you're just like abusing them and capitalizing on their pain.
No, I don't want to... No, nothing.
They don't want to talk about it.
Well, we've reached out. Some do not want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to exploit the pain. I just thought the whole town was interesting. I
Yeah.
want to know their story.
Somebody said Dinosaur World in Tampa is pretty overrated, most boring and worst tourist trap in Florida.
It depends on what kind of dinosaurs you got, because they got some low-budget mechanical dinosaurs that are from the 90s, and they got some new dinosaur stuff. Something tells me they're stuck in the 90s.
I think it depends upon what you're into, but Hulk Hogan's restaurant in Clearwater is actually... I mean, honestly, to me, it was a thrill. I bumped into
Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart with a pan full of potatoes on the way to the bathroom. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South.
Of the South.
he had like an apron on, and he's carrying a big old tin
That's
of
awesome.
potatoes.
There's nothing awful about that.
Yeah, some people be like going, that's a terrible story. I'm like, no, to me, that was a great story.
He's grinding.
Yeah. Somebody said, Wiki Watchy not bad because he's got some of the most beautiful kayaking in Florida. I totally disagree with the list. The mermaids are just a small part of what they got in Wiki Watchy. So they don't agree that is Florida's worst tourist attraction. All right, well, if you want to sound off and let us know what you think what is going to outdo it, you can let us know on the KVJ Show Facebook page. You can go there and leave your comments, or just hit us up, 877-979-WRMF. Some of the ones they have for the rest of the country, I don't know if you'd like this, and you already said you don't like the blog, Jaybird, but they say that the front of the Full House that is in San Francisco, most boring tourist attraction in the state of California. People go and they sit on the front steps and they take a photo. It's like, oh, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, my sister did that with me when I was in Oregon. She showed me the place where they filmed the movie Stand By Me, and I love me some Stand By Me. And I got there, I was so excited. When I got there, I'm like, this is it, huh? All right, cool. There's a bridge and there's a small restaurant that doesn't open on Sundays. Kind of depressing.
Aw.
Not great, huh?
It wasn't great. It was beautiful, but not exciting.
Mm-hmm. In Georgia, they say the worst tourist attraction is the Lunchbox Museum in Columbus, Georgia.
I don't know. That could be awesome. I could see that being awesome if you're into collecting stuff.
Yeah, if you had a lunchbox when you were younger to go in there and then try to find your old lunchbox, that's fun.
I have a small lunchbox collection, actually, so I'm kind of into it.
You are?
Yeah.
So you disagree with that one as well.
Oh, yeah, again.
Yeah, you're not feeling this. They say in Indiana, the worst tourist attraction is the Ball of Paint in Alexandria.
A ball of paint.
It's the world's largest ball of paint.
Okay, now we're talking.
It is a 5-ounce baseball that has 24,000 coats of paint on it and now weighs 2.5 tons.
Wow.
Someone's impressed in here.
I am. How big is that girl?
But to go on a road trip, our guys are going to the Ball of Paint. Who's excited? That's got to be one of those things where it's on its way.
We used to drive past the world's largest ball of twine.
That was in the movie Vacation.
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they say the worst tourist attraction in Iowa is in Sac City, and it's Iowa's largest frying pan. And it's just a frying pan. It really looks like a sign that they've made into a frying pan, and then that's their claim to fame. And it's just sitting in front of like a regular house in a yard.
We used to drive past the world's largest rocking chair.
I think that's all cool if you're passing through.
Right. If you're going to it as your vacation destination,
Yeah.
it's sad.
Kansas has the Ball of Twine. That's in Cocker City.
Okay.
You can go check that out.
That one could be. It sounds pretty awful too, actually. Yeah. They have to have. When they have these things, do they have little food stands by there, or is it just a ball of twine in the middle of nowhere?
I think they have things they're ready to sell you. It's set up to be like a place where you stop and you
Ball of
go
Twine
in.
it doesn't look like there's really hanging around. It looks pretty lame.
We do have that Skunk Ape store down in the Everglades. That's pretty awesome. That
Okay.
I think is awesome. But Virginia would be so mad that she was down there.
They say in Louisiana, the worst tourist trap that they have there is Nicolas Cage's Pyramid Tomb. Apparently, he bought it, and that's where he plans to be buried one day if he doesn't lose all his money and get foreclosed on it.
Really? Where is it?
It's in New Orleans.
Okay.
You can go and see what will be the resting place of Nicolas Cage.
He bought a house, like he bought a whole, like a huge, massive house in the French Quarter, just like a couple of blocks from the restaurant where I spotted him with Alice Kim that time. Remember when I saw him and I spilled a whole beer on myself because I got nervous? His home was just 2 blocks from that restaurant.
Really?
Right off of Decatur in the French Quarter.
If you're ever bored, there are some fascinating 1980s and 90s interviews with Nicolas Cage, and I think he might be on something.
On top of whatever he was on, he already is just weird.
There's one. He's got to be on cocaine. It is an interesting 9-minute interview.
They say in my home state of Ohio, the worst tourist trap is the Christmas Story House and Museum in Cleveland. It's the home from the movie.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yes.
And there's a museum there? That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, they have it. It's the actual house.
I would go to
and
that.
It's kind of in a neighborhood.
Not lame.
Well, yeah, because in my hometown of Logan, we've got the Pencil Sharpener Museum.
That's lame.
You can't tell me that the house from A Christmas Story is worse than the Pencil Sharpener Museum, and it's in a shed. It's in a shed in someone's backyard, and there's about 200 pencil sharpeners in it.
Do people go? Yeah. It's still there?
Yes.
Oh, Kevin, I'm intrigued.
I think it's going to be the worst tourist trap ever. The Pencil Sharpener Museum.
That's in Logan, you said?
It's in Logan, yeah. Logan, Ohio. Oh, we got the worst of everything. We're just the worst of the state. Hands down. Okay. Anything else you want to add to it? 877-979-WRMF.
Pulls right up.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Talking about the worst tourist attraction in the state of Florida, and this blog had said it was the Mermaid Show in Weeki Wachee. And somebody had made a little crack about the mermaids they have in there, and apparently it's still going on. It hit its peak in the 60s, but somebody said, I went 2 years ago. It's outdated, but very nostalgic. There's a mermaid swimming show, water slides. So whoever said they didn't like it is missing the boat on that. Apparently it's very entertaining. So there you go.
By the way, checking out that pencil sharpener place in Logan, Ohio, there's a video on it. I'm kind of impressed with it. There's a ton of pencil sharpeners. It's from the last 30 years of pencil sharpeners, man. They had some activity in there. People were wanting to go in there.
He's easily impressed.
I am.
We've got that because my mom now works at the community center there on Monday. She volunteers.
Aww.
And so she's always trying to sell it to me. So she's basically the pitch woman for the area. And she says, you know, people come in and say, gosh, what is there to do here in Logan? She's like, well, we've got the Pencil Sharpener Museum. They've got the washboard museum where you can go see how they make washboards. And they also have a butterfly sanctuary.
Yeah,
I think with 4 butterflies now.
The more you talk about Logan, the more I feel like I belong there.
It does. It really, it's the Bigfoot capital of Ohio.
I love it.
I mean, it really is your kind of town.
It is.
We do talk about it. Okay, well, over the weekend, I was checking out some social media. And I saw Virginia look like, gosh, she was just tearing it up. She was on a boat. Looked like she was having some fun.
Oh, imagine that. Tequesta over here went on a Tequesta fancy boat.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. So in about 30 seconds here, Virginia, tell us about your exciting weekend. What did you do?
On the 4th, yes, I was on a boat. My girlfriend and her husband took me out, but I thought it'd be a good idea to do day drinking with vodka. Let me just say right now, not a good idea. It was a hot mess, and I ruined the 4th for myself and my friends.
What happened? Okay, I will interrupt.
It was just a mess.
It was a
Don't day
mess.
drink with vodka
There's follow-up questions.
all day.
Day drink with vodka, bad idea, huh?
Terrible. The worst idea ever.
Okay.
And then I spent the rest of the holiday regretting it and being sad and not leaving my house.
Oh, my
snap.
gosh.
Yeah.
Skip me. Let's just ask her questions.
So you just doubted up one day way too hard.
Way too hard. I don't drink vodka during the day. Like, what was I thinking?
What day was this?
The 4th of July.
Okay. Is it the only time you drank?
Yes. Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
It might be the only time I drink for the rest of the month.
What was the worst thing you did?
Try to fight the bar?
You've tried to
Oh,
fight
no.
Oh no!
did.
You about got in a fight? Oh
Who did
no.
You're getting a lot of fights lately.
I know.
You had a fight with me the weekend before.
Who was the fight? What was it
I
about?
don't know. It's just random people. I'm just angry.
You were just barking at everybody. Huh?
Barking, angry vodka girl.
Now, did
It's
so-
a good look.
Did somebody say something to you and then you took it away and then you barked back?
No, I think I was just starting random fights. Like just a true a-hole.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I can't beat that, Coach.
I don't know. It sounds pretty good.
I got drunk and started a fight with myself. Does that count?
Yeah, that's interesting as well. What's your quick recap from the weekend, J-Bird?
I had a 4th of July barbecue with producer Denny's in suits and his wife Jen. That was a lot of fun.
okay.
Well, we ate so much I actually got sick. I threw up. And watched fireworks from my townhouse.
You did throw it because you ate too much, or did you eat something bad?
No, we ate so much for 4th of July to the point where when I left, I said, "Oh man." Good thing I walked here because I feel like I had like I was drunk with food. I just was not feeling that good. Threw up immediately, but I kind of threw up to the point where I was kind of keeled over, and what it did was it kind of led me to the fireworks. I kind of crawled out of my bathroom and I looked out my window and I see all the fireworks going off. So I kind of went by my chair and just watched fireworks by myself in the dark.
It sounds awesome.
After throwing up. Then the next day, wrote a song called "What the Hell Taco Bell." Still working on that. We did our Weird Whatever podcast, and I did a lot of adult stuff, unfortunately, around my place.
Okay.
Just like, hanging stuff up and sweeping.
Okay. All right. Denny's, last week I know you were putting together furniture. That was a big highlight.
Yes, got all that done. I'm very excited about that being complete.
What'd you do this weekend?
Well, so this weekend, I'd say about 2 months ago, I pulled a muscle in my groin. And it was like one that I pulled maybe like 5 years earlier, and I re-pulled it. So my buddy came over. He's really good at
massaged it?
With his mouth?
Who is his buddy? I'm a little jealous.
Well, he's into yoga, and he showed me this new stretch, which has been working out great. So I've been doing that every morning and before I go to bed.
Yeah.
It's the downward doggy style.
It kind of is. It kind of is. It's not that flattering a look, but it does stretch out your hamstring really well. And then also, Jen's friend came over, and I never tried it before, but I never even heard of it, but I got to try donkey cheese. You ever had donkey cheese?
No.
Is it like Famunda cheese?
Get out of here. I know you guys are making fun of it, but it's cheese from a donkey. It's very expensive.
Is it like Donkey Punch?
Oh, you guys are taking it seriously, but I did try donkey cheese, and it was really good.
It sounds delicious.
Donkey cheese?
Whatever. All right. I'm sorry I brought it up.
Do donkeys lactate?
They do, evidently. I didn't know either.
You milk a donkey?
I guess so. I don't know. I don't know how they got the cheese.
Prove it?
I love cheese, but that sounds gnarly. Donkey cheese?
I'll
Donkey
order some
cheese.
from the internet, and I'll bring it over for you
That
guys.
sounds the worst.
It's a spreadable cheese.
Donkey cheese. Yeah, if you go to the internet and look for donkey cheese, oh man, you're gonna have a virus.
How was your weekend, Kevin? Trying to enlighten you cats about donkey cheese.
It was good. I saw the fireworks show. Did something a little bit different. Did the rooftop this year. Dave from Brother Jimmy said you got to come check it out. They had a band up there
At
and
City Place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool. So it was a little bit different, but I got to check out the fireworks there. So I did that. I went and found a new brewery in Fort Lauderdale called Gulfstream, and that was pretty cool. And a hotel that I went to. It was really cool. It had a great view of the entire city,
Nice.
which was pretty awesome. And J-Bird hated because you couldn't get to the top floor if you had flip-flops on. I'm like, what's Florida, man?
Oh
They
my
don't allow
gosh.
that.
I hate top floors and I hate shoes. So this is such a terrible
Yeah.
thing.
It was like fancy.
I guess. I don't know. I'm like, and there was like a little line to get in the elevator, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you have on flip flops." I'm like, "What are they? We're in Florida, dude."
Everything you're saying, I hate. Elevators, no flip flops.
Is it a rooftop pool? What the hell are you supposed to wear?
Yeah, I think it was like a restaurant on the rooftop or something
Oh,
like that.
it was a fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Dalmar or something like that. I don't know.
Did they have donkey cheese?
I don't know. I didn't get to see the menu.
Y'all-
I had on flip flops.
I just did some research. The donkey cheese is a thing, and it's kind of expensive.
That's what I'm saying. She said it was expensive.
I mean, this donkey cheese I'm looking at, the cheapest donkey cheese I can find is $150.
What?
It's like a delicacy.
It really is. There's one donkey cheese wheel for $2,000.
I feel like we could get a donkey for cheaper.
Could get a donkey.
Gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, I did Wimbledon World Cup, watched Versace, so I kind of bounced around, did a little bit of bar hopping on the 500 block, some friends. So.
Who had the lamest weekend, though, in your opinion, out of us three?
Donkey cheese?
Oh, you're just saying that.
Donkey.
I really want to see Virginia's. I mean, I know all of her excitement happened on one day, but it's not like it was so exciting in one day.
Question about your fight. Where was the fight at? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Or can you say?
I'm not going to say.
Was it?
It wasn't a fight. It was just me challenging everyone in the bar and everyone being like, "You're drunk, go home."
What were you challenging?
I don't know why.
Challenging to what, arm wrestle?
To a duel.
I have issues.
I have issues. Well, there you go. At least you know. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, call them out. Do you have somebody that you need to call out? I know J-Bird does from
Oh, yeah.
what happened over the weekend.
Oh, I do. And this is disgusting.
Yes.
Worse than donkey cheese?
No.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Well, there's a lot of people to call out from over the weekend. Probably the most heinous. Does everybody here have somebody to call out about bad firework etiquette?
Yes.
Because I got to call out the guy who was across the street from my house that decided at 2:41 a.m. was going to be a good time to go back out and start firing off some of his fireworks again. And they weren't like bottle rockets. They had to be... It sounded like dynamite. So I don't know if there was like a mortar or what it is, and he did 4 of them.
At 2:41?
Yeah, and then he hit it again at 4 a.m. And I'm like, I mean, clearly at that point, I assume you're drunk because, I mean, why else are you not in bed?
What the heck?
Well, I know we don't live that far from each other. I wonder if it's the same person because I had the same thing going on. But it went on the 4th, it went on the 5th, and it went on the 6th as well.
Yeah, there are people that were doing that. To me, it's like, don't we know if you want to hashtag be cool, that you get your fireworks, and illegal or not, whatever, I don't care. Just get them done by 10 p.m., right, on the 4th of July?
Well, there's a rule, pretty much, an understood rule of trick-or-treating. You don't go past, 11 o'clock. Even 10 o'clock's kind of pushing it.
Yeah. I think Denny said he had somebody who was doing it, too. I know I had it. You had it. I think everybody had it.
You're right. The fireworks have gotten to bomb level. It sounded like there was a war going on.
Well, it did. I mean, it is a really, it's kind of alarming. I mean, because things happen. I don't know if you saw the news and, what happened, was it in Pembroke Pines on Saturday where they had a gas explosion?
They don't even know for sure what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it sounded like it came from the shut down pizza place that was there. But I mean, so 4th of July weekend, you hear an explosion like that, you're like, going, well, that was a good one. You're probably not thinking, okay, I mean, we really need to discern between what is something that we should really pay attention to, and it's just a drunk guy letting off fireworks at 2:41 in the morning. Yeah, so that's why. So I got to call them out. J-Bird's got to call somebody else out from something that happened over the 4th of July weekend.
Somebody at my townhouse area, they ate something. It was of red nature, and they threw up all over my truck. They threw up.
Are you sure it wasn't you?
No.
Because you threw up at your townhouse.
Yeah, but I wasn't drunk, though. I would remember if I threw up. They yacked on the top. I mean, it was premeditated. They did it on top of my sunroof. They did it on the side of it. It was disgusting.
You always have drama.
Always.
Are you sure
Because
that somebody threw up on your car, or did they just pour red gunk on your car?
I know throw up, and it looked like throw up.
He's an expert on throw up.
Here's the issue, Virginia. People,
he throws up more than cats.
They see my stickers. They see they know my truck. So if you don't like the show or you just want to mess with J-Bird, hey guys, it'll be funny. Let's yak on his car. This crap's been happening.
Well, so what? Somebody dialed it up like on command, like going, "Hey, it's J-Bird's truck." Blech.
I don't know. That's a great question. Some people can't throw up on command, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Can they really?
Look, I don't know the logistics of it. I don't know who did it. All I know is I walked out the next morning. There was throw up all over my truck. If
anybody needs cameras, it's you.
Well, I don't even know if you would have cameras in this area because it's the parking lot way away from my little area.
Can people throw up on command?
Some people can. It's not your average thing. I know Steve-O can. I can throw up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If I eat something, I mean, I'm not.
But you got to eat, right?
Yeah. I have to eat a little bit of something.
Yeah.
I'm not bragging. I'm not proud of this.
Okay.
Do it.
But I will say, if anyone, because we do have a lot of listeners that live by where I live at, if anyone saw anything, let me know. Let me know. I want to know who made the.
Want to confess to yakking on J-Bird's truck?
Yeah.
Over the weekend? That'd be nice. Okay.
Yeah. Because you're right. You know what? There are 2 places by my area that might have cameras. I'd love to bust somebody. I'd love to actually go back and find who did this.
You can put cameras anywhere.
I know.
You can put a camera in a tree.
I have cameras that for my place that I haven't installed yet. They were at my old place. I haven't put them into the new place yet.
Okay. All right. Well, if you got any information on that, let us know.
I still got some on my truck if you want to make sure it is what it is.
I trust you.
I don't know. You're asking me.
Now you're good.
I'm not going to go down there and do a swab test.
Good.
Asking me a lot of questions like I'm on the stand over here.
We got to call out all the people that are licking Bluebell ice cream.
Yeah.
That is not cool. The people who are tampering with, I saw the mouthwash one where somebody did a swig of mouthwash and spit it back in the bottle.
That might even be worse.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe they're doing a viral video. Maybe they go back and they grab it off the shelf and then buy it.
It doesn't matter. People are copying you, and they think they're going to go famous on YouTube.
Yeah.
The reason why it's alarming is because 1 or 2 of them have said, everybody go out there and do this, lick this. It's a movement kind of a thing.
Awful.
Awful.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody said, yeah, you can throw up on command. My kids do it at work when they don't want to eat.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Okay, there you go. All right, yeah, apparently some people can. I know a guy named Dean. If you would go "Bleh, bleh," like that, he would throw up.
There's some people that have that thing. They can't see or even hear, and they'll start to throw up.
Yeah.
It triggers them.
Crazy. Let me see here. We got a couple other column outs that people want to call out. Want to call out the U.S. Women's World Cup team for winning.
Yes, a positive
The
call
World Cup,
out.
yeah. That's the second in a row World Cup for the women, so congrats on that. Coco Gauff, congrats to her. Youngest girl to advance into the fourth round of Wimbledon since Jennifer Capriati in 1991. She's taking on Simona Halep today in Wimbledon. Also, don't forget about Serena. I know we kind of like just, you expect her to win, but, you know, she's still cranking along too. So congratulations. Joey Chestnut, you expect him to win, but he picked up his hot dog eating belt 12th time.
I want to call out the guy who called out Joey Chestnut by saying he's not a real athlete. I think Joey Chestnut is a real athlete. He trains. It takes a lot of work. Harder than golf, Virginia.
Okay. There you go. Oh, yeah, the explosion was in Plantation.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And also got a cool little column out here, too. You know, we were talking about mermaids just a minute ago, and I mentioned the bar in Fort Lauderdale that does it. And apparently Mermaid Capri is a big KVJ Nationer. She said, I'm one of the mermaids from the Rec Bar at the Bee Resort in Fort Lauderdale. They got a public pool that has windows looking into the bar. It's an interactive show. The pool is closed when the mermaids perform.
Ooh.
Love it.
How cool
Love
is
it.
that? So,
I think we've been there.
yeah, I believe I've been there.
I think I've been there with you.
Can we go back? It sounds like a hoot.
It does. It was fun. It was very throwbacky. I liked it.
Here's a column out about etiquette watching fireworks shows. Somebody, I want to call all the people watching fireworks that are standing. Everyone else around you is sitting. So if everybody sits, everybody sees, just sit down.
That makes sense.
Okay. Do you think that's proper firework etiquette?
It is, but I mean, what if somebody doesn't have something to sit on?
Yeah, it's unfortunately you go out in the jungle, baby. I don't know if there's any rules.
Okay. A couple positive call-outs. Positive call-out for MD Now. I went on Saturday in South Miami, and they were amazing. Dr. Pena was awesome, and I won't be sick in Hawaii next week. That's
Nice.
Andre in Miami.
Nice.
Very cool. Also got to do a shout-out to the North Palm Beach Little League team. They won the state championships, and they're now going to the regionals. That's very cool. Congratulations to them. And West Boynton Little League 10 and under went 2-1 at the state tournament in Dunedin. Only lost to the eventual state champs. Very proud of these guys. So there you go. I was asking the question on our Facebook page. Was really excited watching Coco Gauff on, I think it was, Saturday, whatever day it was, over the weekend. All bled together. That was the one thing about the 4 days. I don't know what day I did what.
You couldn't figure out what day it was.
No, so I have no clue like what day I was watching that. But anyway, whatever day it was, I was watching. It was really kind of cool because they showed her parents' sports bar there on Atlantic and Delray Beach, and they had a big crowd there. It made the front page of the Sun Sentinel, and so all kinds of cool stuff. But she's 15 years old.
It's so amazing.
And I thought, just to kind of like put it in perspective, what was I doing when I was 15, and what was your greatest accomplishment? And honestly, mine was getting my license to ride a moped. That was the greatest accomplishment I had had by the age of 15.
Well, don't sell that short, my man. That's a big
yeah.
deal.
But I'm not winning 3 times at Wimbledon. You know, I mean, that's unbelievable what she's done. I was like, that's crazy. So I asked on our Facebook page, what was your greatest accomplishment? Think about it to when you were 15. At that point, you said, what is the greatest thing you've done in your life? Your greatest accomplishment? What would it be? Shannon on our Facebook page said, at 15, I was cutting glue out of my hair. Yes. Oscar said, at 15, I beat Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. That's kind of impressive.
That's real impressive.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
Beat the game or just save the princess?
Well, saving the princess is beating the game.
And then it's over?
Well, I mean, it's such a loaded question, Virginia. How much time do you have? There's scores to talk about.
Yeah. I was pretty much the most impressive stuff that we got. I mean, yeah, finding somebody that's done something amazing, pretty crazy. Somebody else with a column out here. Shout out to the St. Lucie Mets fireworks show. It was literally lit. Ha ha ha. Did you see the videos of that?
Did it catch on fire?
They had a massive fire, yes. I saw the photos. Looked like, because If you've ever been there to, what is it called now? It's not Tradition anymore. It's First Data.
Okay.
So if you've been there to First Data Field, like out in the back, they got all the woods and all that kind of stuff. And so apparently, I don't know if it's dry or what, but there's a massive fire that had happened.
No.
Yeah, right out back. I don't know if they even got the fireworks off.
Oh.
So I don't know if anybody was there.
The fire started before the fireworks?
I think they're back there. I don't know exactly because all I saw was the photos on Twitter. Like people were like going, yeah, and there's kind of the joke is like, yeah, fireworks were lit in St. Lucie. So
It's a good joke. It's topical.
yeah, why not? You know, so that's kind of what was going on there. So somebody giving you a shout out for that. I'm actually going to be up there, I think, in a couple weeks, throwing out the first pitch.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Don't blow it, Ralston.
Oh, I know.
And if you do, just know there'll be video.
Oh no, there's a lot of pressure on that kind of stuff.
You can't do any worse than Corey Feldman did. Corey Feldman did one of those minor league baseball games. It
Yeah.
was not. In fact, he did it so bad the first time they made him do it twice, and the second time was just as bad.
Yeah, his was terrible. 50 Cent, I think, was terrible. Carl Lewis, was his national anthem or was his
It was
his national anthem?
National anthem, and you cannot find that full version anywhere. Oh, Virginia,
It's bad.
So bad, but good.
Yeah.
He has to apologize halfway through it.
Aw.
And did you see Jerry Seinfeld at Big League Mets? He went out over the weekend. They handed him the ball, and he threw like a perfect strike.
Then he got in the booth, and then he started critiquing the guy that does the announcing.
Okay. Yeah, somebody talking about the fireworks. You got Julio here from Port St. Lucie. Julio, did you enjoy the fireworks there in Pizzle?
Yeah, the fireworks are cool. They actually, what happened was this is the first two fireworks they set off. The fireworks, one of them, was supposed to go real high. It just never really went high. Only went about like 10 to 20 feet in the air, and it exploded in trees. But the funny part was that the fire started to brew, and then they just kept going. They actually completed the whole entire show while the fire was starting and starting to move.
That's actually kind of amazing because, I mean,
Yeah.
you've got a fire and fireworks to watch at the same time.
Yeah.
And somebody texted in and said that's the second time this happened in the past couple of years.
Wow.
Look, the Pizzle, they're rogue. They're a little edgy. I love it.
We've got more fire with our fireworks. Come to Port St. Lucie. Got a bunch of interesting stuff. Misconnections. People were checking them more than ever. And Virginia actually had seen one that she sent me, and it kind of got me wondering, like, how many people are faking pregnancy tests?
Well, this one had an interesting angle to me. It was from the Pizzle. And
Shocking.
I think it's an excellent finishing move. If you're trying
You
to...
saw it on Craigslist?
Somebody sent it to me. It looks like it's from Craigslist.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says, quote, need pee from a pregnant person in the Stewart, Port St. Lucie area. I am simply looking to give my husband a harmless but good scare. Lesson learned kind of thing. Caught outright cheating with my close friend. He has actually agreed to move out and all that. I just want to scare him good as a parting gift. Nothing more. Thought a nice positive test would make his day and give me the last laugh. Fastest 20 you will ever make. So $20 because which seems like actually kind of a big to do for $20.
It is, but some people will do that. There's a story behind it. It's wrong in that.
Well,
she was
And
wrong.
She was cheated
Yeah.
on by this guy. He's leaving. They're splitting up. He cheated on her with her friend. I think if I was pregnant, I would give this chick my pee, and she could keep her 20.
Well, how is she going to work this?
Exactly.
Keep your 20, babe.
Okay, walk me through how she's going to fake this test, though, because he cheated with one of her friends. So how is she going to wind up getting a fake pregnancy test?
Easy.
All she does is go get a test from the store.
Yeah.
Dip the stick in the fake pee that she's got somebody else's pregnant pee. It's going to come back and say, pregnant. Leave that on the counter for him with a note.
And say, oh, by the way, while you were sleeping with my friend, you knocked me up.
Surprise. Bye.
Or you could even go if it was
I'll see you in court.
he slept with the friend. Is that what? Is
Yeah,
that,
her friend.
You could even say, look, I was talking to my friend and she just took a pregnancy test and boom, she's pregnant too.
Those two are probably in cahoots, though. That could be easily refuted if he calls up the girl he was cheating with. This one, he'll have to wonder for about 8 months what's going on.
Yeah.
He won't
And if he
care.
doesn't see, well, if he thinks he's going to have to pay child support for a kid that he's not even involved in the life of, he is going to actually care.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there you go. I'm just kind of curious. Is anybody else out there actually faked themselves a pregnancy test? Did they do it? Why did you do it? I'm just kind of curious. Because obviously somebody is on Craigslist here in South Florida looking to try to do it.
I hope somebody gave her their pin.
And it kind of seems like a good reason, right?
It
It's a little
is.
bit of fun. I mean, that one you're like going, okay, I wouldn't think I'd ever be into that, but okay.
Get him.
That's kind of cool. Let me see here. Somebody sent us some other bizarre stuff that they have found on Craigslist. Gary sent this in. Love your misconnections voices, Kevin. They have me in tears every time you do the bit. Here are some of our own in South Florida. Let me see. Yeah, somebody said here, ask Jaybird what he knows about the second one here.
If I don't know, I will Google. We'll get answers.
Says, worn panties and more. Boca and Lake Worth.
Warm?
Worn.
Oh,
W-O-R-N.
worn.
Tattered old.
Worn.
Used.
Yes.
It says here a sexy, petite, and discreet professional MILF seeking worn panties, pantyhose, socks, bras, and more. Custom worn for you. You pick the style, the color, the length of time worn, and what's done in them. Custom photo sets and videos also available. I can meet in person or ship. Upon request, I can send you a price chart, more details, pics, and answer any more questions you might have.
Girl's got a rate card?
A price chart? Well, okay.
I mean, this is a legit biz.
So that means what? The more holes in the panties you get, you probably pay more for that?
Send an email with the subject, Yummy Panties. Located in Boca Raton or Lake Worth to meet.
It's more Lake Worth than Boca, let's be honest.
Wow. Think so,
Yeah, it's more Lake Worth.
Yummy panties.
Wow, okay. That's I wonder how many people are doing that. I can't imagine that she's doing the I would meet you in person kind of thing, though,
No.
because
You should never meet them in person. That's how you end up dead.
ultimately I'm thinking this is some kind of scam and there's no real sexy MILF on the other end.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably just theater of the mind. They get the panties in the mail, like, oh, I got them. And they let the imagination run wild, Virginia.
We know what they do.
Wow. How about that?
Kevin's so innocent. Do people really do this?
And by they, I mean you.
No. I hate this seedy world.
You wouldn't be into yummy panties?
Not that I don't know where they're coming from. That kind of alarms me. Don't give me no dirty panties where I don't know where they came from.
This is a lost and found post on Craigslist. It says, so Amazon just dropped off a package and it was a mistake. I ordered something completely different and I received an amazing adult toy that's worth $200.
Whoa, that's a Cadillac.
It even has a remote control with 8 settings.
What?
I'd love to use it on you. Let's make it happen. Female only, single, cute Latin. Come on, let's get together.
I mean, I'm sure there was just so many emails back to that cat.
Yeah, is anybody...
No. Absolutely not.
Oh, Amazon just accidentally dropped this off. So it got 8 settings. It's valued at $200. Yeah, they'd just be like, oh, of course I want to go try that out. Wait, what?
Accidentally now he wants to use it. What? There ain't no accidents, Kevin.
I really want to see the return rate on some of these posts that we get here. It's got to be nobody responding to that.
You would hope.
The one that's the most common that I see is usually a guy that's married on the down low meeting another guy. That's the most common.
Really? Okay.
Out of New York, LA, South Florida, that is without a doubt the most.
I'd believe that. Well, I mean, that's fresh in my head because I just watched the assassination of Gianni Versace on Netflix. And that's a big part of it because you see the escort world of these gay escorts. And, especially the time period, though, it was a little different. I mean, you're talking in the 90s. But I'm sure even today, rich, wealthy men that want different fantasies taken care of, and a lot of them are gay and closeted, have families, but they still want to scratch that itch, so that's what they do. They hire a well-spoken, attractive gay male escort.
I love how you're mansplaining the gay underculture to me.
Kevin,
I would have
mansplaining.
to have it mansplained to me because if I hadn't seen it,
I
didn't
can find you a
understand
few
it.
guys that'll mansplain it to you.
Oh yeah, no, I mean honestly, it's like that whole world of like what rich people. I mean, you know, the Jerry Epstein thing. Is that his name? The guy just got arrested.
Oh yeah, the Epstein case. He's not gay, he's straight, but dirty dog.
But it's just again a billionaire, and they're paying for
I
different
buy what I want.
sexual activities that happen. Yeah, I mean that's where it is. Where I think that if you've got a certain amount of money, whatever your fantasy might be, unfortunately, you can probably find it out there from somebody.
Money plus deviant is horrifying.
Money plus deviant plus little bored, kind of done everything in life. What else can I do? That's when people start, inviting you over for a dinner party, and then they release you out in the woods, and then they hunt you. Oh yeah, rich people hunting other people.
That's probably something that happens.
Animals bore them now. Now they're going after the biggest game out there, Kevin. People.
I get it, man. I'm watching that movies. I'm like, some of the twisted things really rich people are doing.
I mean,
cash,
I know
it's
you
insane.
see it in movies a lot, but I think some of these ideas from real life, man.
Probably. Well, I mean, look at some of the cases, the real life cases we have. You're like going, okay, you got some money, and are doing some twisted things. Here's one. Somebody is advertising, and who would buy this? A love doll for $800?
Depends on what this love doll can do, Kev.
It says, tired of spending the weekends alone? Looking for a partner who's always down? Stuck with HSV2 or whatever and have trouble finding someone? HSV2.
I'm Googling it.
Okay.
HSV2.
Can't keep it since I have a roommate moving here in a couple of months.
Your roommate would definitely see that.
This just in.
Yes.
Herpes 2.
Oh, stuck with...
Herpes simplex virus type 2 would be HSV2.
Okay.
Well, they're putting it out there.
You can't give it to the doll. She don't care.
I'm learning so much.
That's what Misconnections does. Be careful what you learn, my man.
It says here on this post, I could do without the weird conversation. 5'7", 80 pounds, TPE, not silicone.
It's 80 pounds.
She's petite.
It's heavy. I mean, for a doll.
Oh, listen
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those.
It's a lifelike.
For 800, they're gonna yeah.
And listen to this: used less than 10 times.
Ah,
That's a lie.
you gotta knock off a couple hundo on
That's
that.
like when you say, "Oh, I've only had 2 beers."
No,
whatever.
This is like a car. As soon as it leaves the lot,
It's a multiplication. Yeah, when you say 2 beers, it means you've had 12. So if it says less than 10 times, it means 1,000. Bleached clean, but you can do it again yourself for your own peace of mind.
Bleached clean.
Outfits also available for sale. And I have to post the photo that came with this because he had her propped up in bed like she was just laying there waiting for him. It's
how'd she look?
pretty good. For a girl that's only been ridden 10 times. $800.
I think there's some that or more than that. They're getting to the point where there's a brothel with robot dolls now. It's in some other country, and wives are getting so mad because men were spending too much time at the robot brothel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, it is. Whoa.
That is weird.
It's weird.
That is weird.
The wives
World
have-
out there, man.
I'd be so mad at Panda. I'd be like, really? You cheated on me, but with a robot?
Where were you all evening? I was at the robot sex
The
place.
robot place? What?
Yeah.
Baby, I don't love her like I love you.
Oh, man.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
I would think if I were going to rob anyone, I would want to try to get in and out of the place I was robbing as quickly as possible. That's why I don't really understand what this guy in Kansas was thinking when he broke into a house. The owner of the home at 5 a.m. wakes up and hears some noises in his basement. He goes downstairs and finds this guy who is strapped up on his inversion table. that he had in the basement. Now, if you don't know what an inversion table is, it's like an exercise machine where you strap yourself in upside down and then you do sit-ups. So you're kind of like really, you're hanging upside down. So, I mean, it really takes some good core strength to do it.
Oh, it sounds majorly difficult. I couldn't even probably do one.
So apparently this 39-year-old guy, Jamie Sanders, is like going, that's pretty cool. I wonder how many sit-ups I can do. Well, he found out not many. He straps himself in, but then doesn't have the core strength to pull himself up to even do the straps to get himself out. So he's trapped with his weak abs dangling upside down. The cops came in, arrested him for aggravated burglary. And after all that, all he'd managed to steal was a box of cranberry juice. That was it.
You do it a minute or 2 minute at a time. If you work up to like 5 minutes, you're going to be lightheaded. It'd be like standing on your head for 5 or 10 minutes and then getting up, and you can imagine running up a flight of stairs to get out of a house when you know you're not supposed to be there. The shoes were like right here and the juice was over there a little ways. So, I mean, it's weird. I mean, why would you take your shoes off and put your driver's license in it and leave a container of juice? Kind of let the neighbors know that you might want to consider locking your doors because, it can happen to anybody. We were very fortunate that nobody got hurt, and we lock our doors now.
Okay, there you go. Lock them doors.
Lock them.
Good advice for the homeowners and criminals. Don't strap yourself into an inversion table. Your abs are not as strong as you might think. Another dumb criminal in Land O'Lakes, Florida, got out of jail on Monday night and immediately tried to steal cars from the jail parking lot.
Oh, my gosh.
They have cameras. He was arrested easily.
You're right there.
In fact, they've never had an easier arrest.
Right.
Dummy.
There's a 13-year-old kid who stabbed his 15-year-old brother in the arm before a family road trip from Crestview, Florida to Tennessee on Saturday.
That's intense.
They had called the cops. They showed up, and they said, why'd you do it? He said, well, quote, I'd rather be in jail than spend 8 hours in the car with him. Fun little family vacation, huh? No word on what kind of charges he's going to be facing. There's a guy in Oregon that drove drunk past a neighbor's house last week, realized that he was hungry and saw them taking out their groceries and saw a box of Cheerios. So he drove by and stole the box of Cheerios and took off. They called the cops, let him know. They pulled him over, and yeah, guess what? He was really hammered. Which, what an awful snack if you're hammered. Regular Cheerios?
Amen. Thank you, Fat Kevin, for showing up.
You're welcome. Terrible. I don't know if you saw this photo. A drunk driver was cruising around Stewart and decided to try to take his Lexus on the train tracks early Sunday morning. By the way, it doesn't work well.
Yeah, he was trying to drive on the tracks, not over the tracks.
Yeah,
like,
on the tracks, yeah.
big dummy.
Drinking?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Guy in St. Pete, Florida got arrested after cops found a jar of weed in his Bob Marley backpack.
Aw.
They pulled him over, smelled a strong essence of weed, and guess what? It was coming from the Bob Marley backpack. And
The Bob Marley backpack.
Does it come with that?
It's kind of a dead giveaway.
yeah, and he was a dealer, so they got him on felony
Oh.
distribution charges. There's a naked guy in Wisconsin that got arrested. He told the cops he was, quote, on tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of acid.
Tons of it.
That's 6 tons of acid, apparently.
Sounds horrible.
That does.
That does sound horrible.
There were 2 hikers in Texas recently had to call 911. They said they were running from a wild pig that kept grunting at them. But then a park ranger found them hiding in a tree and was able to confirm that, it's not actually a wild pig or boar that's chasing you. The sound they've been running from was cars driving over a rumble strip on a nearby road.
It did kind of sound like pigs, though, in their defense.
They thought it was pigs. It's not pigs. So. Okay.
They found him in a tree.
In a tree.
Were they on a ton of acid as well?
Thank you.
A ton of acid. Yes. This is kind of crazy. There's this guy that had this weird blister on his foot. And apparently when he popped it with a tweezer, this hard, like white, rocky kind of substance came out of it.
Oh, hell no. You better get yourself to the doctor.
Yeah, he went to the doctor and they took a look at it. Apparently when he was surfing on Flagler Beach in 1994, he got bit by a shark. The shark's tooth broke off in his foot.
In 94?
In 94, yes. And
all this time.
It's been just in his foot, and finally, I guess the body tried to get rid of it finally.
Yeah, I feel like I still have pencil lead in my finger. I stabbed my finger as a kid.
I do,
And I
yeah.
can still see it.
Look, you can see mine on my...
Yeah, I can't. It's your middle finger.
Look, Kevin, I got pencil lead right there.
Yeah, I've got a big old.
Oh,
See,
wow.
you see mine too? At the bottom of my finger, there's a big old chunk of lead in there.
I see it.
And it hurt like a bee. It hurt so
Yeah?
bad. I guess
Wow.
it just healed over.
Yeah, he sent the tooth to the Florida Program for Shark Research at the Florida Museum of Natural History, and they used DNA to determine that it was from a black-tipped shark.
Wow.
So are the leads kind of as cool as a shark tooth, right, Kevin?
Nope.
So lame.
So lame.
This is a crazy story. Did you hear about this? This couple from New York is suing a fertility clinic after they got another couple's embryos, had the babies, then were forced to give them to the other couple.
What?
Can you imagine that after you've, established a rapport?
Oh my gosh.
You got to give up the children? That's insane, isn't it?
That is crazy. There was a story like that not too long ago where this lady had carried babies and had to give one of them up, and turns out one of them was hers. Like, her husband knocked her up after she got artificially inseminated to be a surrogate. So she was a surrogate.
Yeah.
And then she was having relations with her husband.
Okay.
He knocks her up. So she's got 2 babies in there.
Oh, no way.
And she thinks both the babies belong to this British couple.
Oh, wow.
And so she gives them both the babies. But then, like, her husband is black and she's white. One of the babies is white and one of the babies is black. And then the British couple was just 2 white people. And then the British couple and the people that were here in the U.S. were fighting. The people from the U.S. were fighting to get their baby back because they're like, obviously,
Right.
the dark-skinned baby is not yours. It's ours. My husband just freakishly was able to knock me up.
Well, DNA should settle all that.
I think they were fighting them. The people in Britain were fighting them on doing the test. They wanted to keep both babies.
Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, after you have a child for a little while, you're like, look, you gave it to us, and we've formed a bond with it.
I know, but it's crazy.
By the way, what a heavy story. And just, wow.
Right?
How often does that happen?
And you have to look at it from both sides. Yes, of course, you feel bad for the parents that are raising the baby that have to give it back, but you feel bad for the parents that's their real baby and they want it.
Plus, wasn't the one woman a surrogate for the other family?
Yes.
So she was doing something nice.
She was doing something, well, she
Yeah.
got paid. She was a paid surrogate.
Yeah,
she wasn't
yeah.
like a friend.
Yeah, they say that delivery nurses will confess that is one of the big things that they see is how many babies are conceived out of infidelity. And a lot of times the father don't even realize it till the baby comes out. And then you get that surprise of like, wait a minute, the skin color of that kid doesn't seem like it matches up with who we think the biological parents would be.
Ruh-roh.
And apparently it can get pretty awkward in the delivery room at times.
From what I understand, it happens more than you would think.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I have heard. I don't know, though.
Yeah, apparently it's pretty obvious right away when a kid is born from somebody who cheated with somebody of a different ethnicity.
Oh, that's
happens right there.
fascinating. I mean, just get the popcorn.
Yeah.
I mean, is it to the point where as soon as the baby comes out, everyone, like the whole medical team's looking at each other like, all right, just do your job?
Everybody just walked backwards slowly out of the room.
I mean, does it happen that soon where you can tell? 'Cause I think babies can come out, first of all, they're covered in blood.
I'd like to know if any delivery nurses can confirm that. Apparently, there are a couple salacious secrets of the nursing profession. Maybe yours has one as well that you can share with us. Well, this would be a nice little concert keepsake. If you went to check out Cardi B at the Staples Center in Los Angeles on Friday, you might have her wig. She apparently took her wig off and threw it into the crowd.
what a great souvenir.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
What'd you get? I just got a T-shirt. Well, I got her wig.
I got her wig. That's crazy.
You could turn around and sell that.
Oh, no doubt.
And you should.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I would do. Well, she wants it back now, apparently.
No, you can't have it back.
Yeah, but how much, right? I mean,
Right.
Come on.
Name your price.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. See, I like that. When they throw something awesome out into the crowd, drumsticks, guitar picks, yeah, it's all good. But throw me something great. I think probably the best keepsake I ever had was when I first got into radio. I had to help John Bon Jovi off a stage, and it was a Christmas show. And he handed me a Santa hat that he had made that he wore the entire concert.
Wow.
Did they look at you and go, "Merry Christmas, kid," and then toss it to you?
Yeah, kind of like a Coke commercial.
It seems like it's very
Oh,
Hollywood.
gee, thanks, mister. Thanks, Mr. Bon Jovi. I love you.
That's how that story sounds to me.
Yeah, that's kind of was. That was like the coolest concert keepsake I ever got.
I can see you.
Me too. I can see it too.
Yeah, I used to actually wear it and hand out gifts every Christmas. Like for
Aw.
years, I wore it as a tradition. Now I have no idea where it went. I don't know.
Dang.
Don't
I
tell
know.
him that.
Sad. I'm sure he doesn't even remember anyway. He's probably going, what hat?
You could have kept that, though. That's rock and roll legend memorabilia.
I know.
And you could have framed it with a picture of him on stage wearing it. Bam.
Yeah, I know.
You did it all wrong, Ronston.
I do a lot of things wrong. Yeah. That would just be another one.
That's why we like you, because we're just like you.
I think that's why he hired us.
Yes.
What do you like better? Do you like an arena show or do you like a really in-close, intimate show?
Intimate.
Always intimate.
I think so too, right?
Always.
Yeah.
Because you're closer. At those arena shows, it looks like you're watching an ant.
Yeah.
Do you
Unless
like
you're in the front row.
Indoor or outdoor better?
In Florida, indoor.
I got to tell you, I think honestly my favorite shows when I start thinking of concerts that I really love, they're all outdoor.
Mine are too.
I don't really know of one that was indoor where I'm like, that was absolutely amazing. Yeah, everything that really first jumps to my mind is an outdoor show that went on. I'm like going, yeah, that sticks out. That was outdoor. Yeah, that sticks out. That was outdoor. All of them.
I've had a ton of fun times at the amphitheater. The one in West Palm right here. And they have great acts there. I always have a blast.
Yeah, they do. Some of the best acts. I mean, the biggest acts play there because, I mean, you're talking about an amphitheater that it's noticeable if you don't sell that thing out.
I will say, though, I got to go see one of our listeners who was very kind to let me go to see Billy Joel at Lynn University. They have this small little theater.
Oh, they have a great theater there.
Oh, my. There was not a bad seat in the house. He
No.
did all B-sides and it was telling stories about him. I about wept. It was just, amazing.
That's an amazing theater. Yeah,
It was amazing.
They had a presidential debate there one time.
I remember
they
that.
did, that's right.
In fact, they got a coin in the stage where Obama stood
That's cool.
on that theater stage. Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a great little venue.
It's always better to be up close.
I think so too. That's why I think it's kind of cool. Garth Brooks, who arguably, was one of the greatest country stars of all time. He's pretty much an arena dude. That's what he plays because he still, even today, will go out on tour.
They
and
love
does arena
him.
tours. Yeah.
Country loves him.
His next tour is going to be a dive bar tour.
Oh.
And he's only going to play dive bars.
That's what Madonna's doing. Remember
Kinda,
she's doing
she's doing a theater tour. Yeah.
They're going down a scale.
Yeah, I wonder, this is his play, because I think he just recently wrapped up an arena tour. And so, yeah, I think the more intimate kind of thing, because, maybe what happens is they get cool videos out of it that are better than just what it looks like on a regular arena tour. Yeah, so he's going to be doing this tour, starts July 15th, so just next Monday in Chicago. It's going to be the first one. He's doing 7 dates in 7 different cities, and the only way to get a ticket to it is to win it from your local radio station.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't know if he's coming to South Florida. It'd be awesome, but you'd have to listen to, WRK to get a ticket. How cool would that be?
That is incredible.
Yeah, you can go to Garth Brooks' Facebook page if you want to get some info on that. Talking about cool things getting in concert, Cardi B chucked out her wig at Staples Center the other day. Somebody caught it, ran off with it. Yay! Now she wants it back. She ain't going to get it back.
You ain't getting that back.
But talking about cool things that bands will chuck out there. Yeah, a lot of times it's drumsticks or guitar picks or something like that. But every now and then they'll do something a little bit different. Sometimes maybe something they're wearing from the wardrobe. That's pretty awesome. Somebody said that on Saturday, Train signed a T-shirt and tossed it to a little kid that was in the crowd.
Oh, that's cute.
And the kid goes, Mommy, who's Train? Why did you take me to this concert?
I thought you said I was getting a Train set.
Those,
I don't even know who these guys are.
Those kids, they love Train.
They're older than Dad. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, different. So, yeah, it's a cool thing, too, I get as well. Well, one thing I want to talk about here on the show, and wanted to wait, I guess, probably till the end to talk about it, but boy, it was just really crazy. It was shocking the other day. I was talking about how at 2:40 in the morning I was woken up, 4th of July, had gone and passed, and, drunk neighbor lets off 4 mortars, boom, boom, and I'm just like, okay, I'm awake. It's 2:40 in the morning.
I swear the same guy was doing it by my place, too.
Yeah, he might have been. It's just like, come on, man. Like, can we get, to me, you've got like till 10 p.m., set them all off, that's it. And you can't set them off on July 5th.
No,
We're done.
I know who's doing them by where I'm at. It's a bunch of college kids, and they're so full of life and so happy and just disturbing everybody. It's so annoying.
Well, they can go to bed anytime they want.
Definitely. and they do.
They're not old with tender ears.
Well, it's like but I mean, when you're that age, I mean, you can go to bed, and then the key is wake up whenever you want. You don't have kids that are waking you up or obligations that are waking you up, and that's the key. was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like 22, and they're like going, yeah, I could not imagine like your hours. It's crazy. I'm like, going, I'm up till like 3 in the morning every day. I'm like, what time do you wake up? Oh, like 1 p.m. I'm like, well, yeah, I can't do that. Like,
I got stuff to do. You missed half the day.
Afternoon?
yes. I'm like, yeah, I would love that. That would be great. I can't wake up at 1 p.m. though. That's just not going to fit into my life. But when I woke up at 2:41 in the morning, so I'm kind of shook because I really thought that my house was under attack. And then I kind of just started, what you do, you start flipping through Twitter and stuff like that. And I could not believe the news. And the story, I guess, must have come out really quickly about the helicopter crash that claimed the life of Chris Klein, who I didn't know Chris personally, but I knew people that knew Chris. I got a connection personally to West Virginia, and so that's somebody I pay attention to. That's, where he's from, and he's a graduate of Marshall University. And a billionaire, 1.8 billion, I think, was his worth, and he had his own little islands in the Bahamas, and got onto a helicopter with his daughter and a couple of her friends, and there were a couple other people that were on it, and the helicopter crashed for whatever reason close to it, and all 7 people who were aboard perished in that.
It actually happened. So when you say it happened on July 4th, it happened at 2 a.m. July 4th. So technically, it's kind of like July 3rd.
Yeah, well, that's
So
what I was
it
saying. It
was
was 2:40. Yeah, it was 2:41 in the morning.
It wasn't when you were. Yeah, it wasn't like the night of July 4th. It was the day before July 4th.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So technically, like the 3rd, because I think it was 2 a.m.
It was 2
Yeah.
a.m. that they took off from the island because of a medical emergency.
Okay.
His daughter was having a medical emergency, and they took off trying to rush her to a hospital.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I was wondering that, and they're trying to piece things together. But yet, the stories that I heard, and I was talking to some people over the weekend who knew Chris and just some of the stuff that he had done, and reading some of the stories, you might have your own take, be like, oh, billionaire, whatever. He was somebody that really, truly gave. I mean, I was just talking to somebody that was talking about the charitable work where he would load up, and he had several planes. He's a billionaire, but he was taking them to places where people needed food, medicine, toys, things like that. He was always taking a ton of his money, a philanthropist, doing a lot of stuff, and he wasn't just saying, yeah, go on ahead and load it up and I'll write the check. He was getting on the planes himself, and he was going over there, and he was on the front lines and rolling up his sleeves and really helping people out. And I was just impressed with the people whose lives that he touched. Was really amazing. And I think that, there's a lot of positive things need to be said about this man who did a lot of wonderful things that too often people are just jaded, billionaire, out of touch, care about them. No,
Let me guess,
wasn't the case.
People are saying on social media.
The comments were terrible. They were absolutely atrocious, what I was reading. And that's why I couldn't get to bed. I was so upset reading, and I know it's just social media, and I'm like, don't let it happen.
You say it's just social media, but that's not really true. You're talking about a sad moment for someone's life, and their family and friends are reading
me angry
that.
again.
It's not just social media.
No,
actually.
you're right. It makes me angry just even thinking about these were members of our community. It was his daughters, their friends. Yeah, I mean, there are people behind this, and you don't even know the story of what they did. Sure, they had a ton of money. They had their own little islands. They had the mansion and whatever stuff that I know if you're a have-not, like all of us are, you're very jealous. But he was doing so much good stuff, and always did, with his money. And this was a guy, and I was reading a little bit more about him. When he was 20, he was in the coal mine, busted. A year later, he had his own business and started from there. So he started and made it, made it happen. So yeah, people had no idea. They were just saying terrible things, but just it's a sad, tragic story. And Gina, I know you had your own personal connection.
It's kind of crazy because when the story broke, I saw that it was Chris Klein. And a few years ago, Chris Klein had little smiles in his house. He had invited all of us, and we had been there, and he did a big fundraiser, and we were all like, wow, this guy is so awesome. He made a lot of donations over the years, but I didn't really know him. I knew his pilot. His helicopter pilot is my guy that I've spoken about many times right here on the radio. He flew me and Outs-Jbird in the helicopter. He flew me and my daughter in the helicopter. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. I was just texting my friend, Jeff. I was just texting him on Monday, and he was telling me how excited he was about the future. And he had just got some work visa stuff done for his son. And They're from the UK, and it's just like, it's so surreal that this big news story breaks, and then he's the helicopter pilot, and it's got such a local connection, I know, to so many families that knew the girls or knew somebody on the plane.
They went to Benjamin, and
it's
They
awful.
went to LSU.
It's just completely awful to think about what had happened.
It is. So, our condolences go out to the family of Chris Klein, and so we're sorry to hear that news.
And to my friend Jeff, and to everybody, the poor souls that were lost on that plane, and they were just trying to rush back for a medical emergency.
Yeah.
It just breaks your heart.
Well, Jay-Bird, a lot of people going through stuff today as well. That's why some positivity is how we end this show every day. What do you got for us today, my friend?
These mountains that you are carrying, you are only just supposed to climb them. Just climb them. I had another thought of the day, but you guys were telling a sad story, and that thought would not have paired nicely with that sad story, so I had to pull in really quick.
That's a good one.
Wasn't that good?
You're
Okay.
good. You're
You
good.
did fine.
You're good.
Nice job.
Your decision-making skills are on point. You're listening to the KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.